everybody, what's up? Welcome back. Today we're doing a fun video of Jillian Tries where I am trying some of the things I've seen online, but also some of my favorite kind of go-to snacky things. So first up, I'm making pizzas. Now, I'm making them in a very unique way. I got this pan from, I think, At Home a while ago. It is a mini skull pan, but I've seen on Instagram how people are taking Pillsbury dough and making pizzas out of it. So come along with me while we make pizzas. So first things first, yes, I know it's technically a nonstick pan, but I wanted to spray it just to be on the safe side. Now, I did find the crescent roll that it didn't have the divides already, like the shapes already cut into it. I actually just found a crescent roll sheet. Now, as you can see here, I am getting ready to cut it. I completely and utterly messed this up. So I was like, oh, there's 6 skulls. Let's do 12 pieces because then there will be a bottom and then there will be a top. And so I stretched it out just a little bit because, you know, crescent rolls always puff up a little as they bake. But then as I put it into the tray, I realized it wasn't big enough. Yeah. So then I was like, okay, well, now everything's got to be put together and let's make 6 pieces instead of 12 and let's try to just Frankenstein this whole thing. I mean, I guess that kind of works. It's Frankenstein Halloween skull pizzas. And so I did do this a second time since filming this. And what I did the second time was I actually got 2 of the crescent roll sheets and I cut them into 6 and then did 1 on the bottom, 1 on the top, and it worked out so much better. From here, I did 1 spoonful, I should say, of sauce. Again, this is the first time I'm doing this. I had no idea. 2 pieces of pepperoni. Looking back, I wish I would have put a little more pepperoni into it and a little more sauce, and then the cheese on top. Now, one thing I do think I wish I would have done differently, and I think I'm going to do this the next time I make these, is put a layer of cheese, then the sauce, then the pepperoni, and then the cheese again. And that way then the cheese will almost act as like an insulator to keep everything from either leaking out, falling out, absorbing, not cooking completely, some of that kind of stuff. And then I'm just folding the dough over. Now, like I said, I did this another time and having the second layer on top actually worked out so much better. But then into the oven. I did add about 3 minutes. You can see here, I had just put them in for the time that it said on the roll. But again, because it was in the mold, I think I needed a few extra minutes. So I did do 3 extra minutes. And then they came out absolutely perfect golden brown. From here, I flipped them out. And I'm so glad I sprayed the mold, the sheet, the pan, whatever you want to call it. Because they just popped right out. And there are my little scullies. And then I dropped the tray on the floor and then had to go from there. But these are skull pizzas. And they turned out absolutely fantastic. All right. So the skull pizzas worked out really, really well. It is actually the next day, just because I made the skull pizzas and then we ate them. And then we started binging Big Bang Theory and my night was gone. So next thing that we are going to be trying are cookies. So I got 2 different kinds. The tops are cut off because they are already in the oven. First one is this caramel apple with toffee pieces. And the second one are these Trick or Treat chocolate cookies. So we're going to bake them up. These are actually minis. These are full size. We're going to see how they are. So let's bake some cookies. So from here, we're going to set the oven. Now, I totally and completely goofed. The first set that were supposed to be in the oven when I was doing my intro, I never turned the oven on. And they sat in the oven with no heat for like 20 minutes. At that point, I was a little bit weirded out. And I was like, it's cookie dough that's like warmer than room temperature. And I don't know if it's good. I don't want to bake it. So I basically just started over with the second half. I'm kind of bummed, honestly, that we lost half of the dough. And I think I'm going to have to go back to Target and get more of the caramel apple because you will see they were fantastic. But since the chocolate were minis, I just baked them on the same cookie sheet as the caramel apple. Now, the chocolate ones only needed like a minute less than the caramel. So I actually just did it for the bare minimum for the caramel apple, took everything out, and it actually worked out absolutely perfectly. I can't say I would do it again, but for the sake of this, it actually kind of worked out. Now they just gotta cool for a few minutes and then they will be ready to try. So I have my caramel apple and I have my Halloween. We're gonna try the Halloween one. So it basically has like butterscotch chips, the sprinkles. Pretty good. And there's a chocolate cookie, it has butterscotch. I would almost do peanut butter chips with it. That would be really good. Now, for the caramel apple, I'm super excited. Now these, because of the toffee and the caramel, they're not quite as firm, but let's try how they, like, see they're like folding. Oh my gosh, those are good. So good. Okay, so that is the baking chaos. I have to say the pizzas were a huge success. Cookies are a success. Maybe I'm not as bad of a baker as I thought I was. But thank you for following along with that video. And I'll see you guys in the next Boo Bash video. Maybe there'll be another Jillian tries down the road. Who knows? Anyhow, stay spooky guys. Enjoy spooky season. And I'll see you next time. Bye.